Shadowed Battlegrounds presents Night of the Bloody Tiger. The cold, salty breeze of the English Channel whipped across the deck of the E-boat, S-130, as Captain Erik Reinhardt stood at the helm. The moonlight reflected off the waves, casting an eerie glow on the water. Reinhardt's sharp eyes scanned the horizon, searching for any sign of the Allied convoy they had been tracking. He was a seasoned commander, with the weight of countless missions etched into his stern features. "Captain," called Lieutenant Carl Weber, his second-in-command, from the navigation station below. "We've received confirmation of a large-scale Allied exercise near Slapton Sands. High Command wants us to disrupt it." Reinhardt nodded, his mind already calculating the risks and rewards of the mission. "Very well, Lieutenant. Prepare the crew for immediate action. We strike tonight." As Weber relayed the orders, Reinhardt couldn't help but think back to a time when he had been full of ideals. Now disillusioned by the endless cycle of violence, he saw the mission for what it was, another deadly game of cat and mouse. The E-boat sliced through the dark waters, engines humming quietly as the crew readied themselves. Petty Officer Hans Dietrich, the chief engineer, performed a final check on the torpedoes, his hands moving with practiced precision. "All systems are green, Captain," Dietrich reported, wiping a bead of sweat from his brow. "Good," Reinhardt replied, his voice steady. "We need to hit them hard and fast, no mistakes." The radar operator, Seaman Fritz Keller, suddenly spoke up. "Contact, bearing 345 degrees. Multiple targets, sir." Reinhardt's eyes narrowed. "That's our convoy. Helm, set course, and bring us in slow. We need the element of surprise." As the E-boat approached the unsuspecting convoy, the tension among the crew was palpable. They were well trained, but the fear of the unknown loomed over them. "All hands, battle stations," Reinhardt ordered. "We strike on my command." The first torpedo launched from S-130, slicing through the water toward its target. Seconds later, a massive explosion lit up the night, followed by the frantic sounds of alarms and shouting from the Allied ships. "Direct hit!" shouted Weber, his face illuminated by the fiery glow. Reinhardt watched the chaos unfold, his mind racing. "Launch the second wave," he commanded. "We need to maximize the damage." As the E-boat squadron pressed the attack, Allied ships scrambled to respond. Captain John Harris of the landing ship LST-507 barked orders to his crew, trying to organize a defense. "Get those guns firing," Harris yelled. "We can't let them pick us off." Lieutenant Sarah Thompson, the communications officer, worked tirelessly to relay orders and coordinate the response. Despite the chaos, her calm demeanor helped keep the crew focused. The night sky was filled with tracer fire and explosions as the battle raged on. Reinhardt maneuvered the E-boat with skill, avoiding enemy fire and positioning for another strike. "We're taking heavy fire, Captain," shouted Dietrich over the din. "We need to fall back." Reinhardt weighed his options. "Not yet. We have one more shot." The final torpedo launched, finding its mark with devastating accuracy. Another Allied ship erupted in flames, casting an ominous light over the battlefield. "Now we retreat," Reinhardt ordered. "Full speed ahead. Get us out of here." As dawn broke, the E-boat limped back to its base, the crew exhausted but relieved to be alive. Reinhardt stood on the deck, staring out at the horizon, lost in thought. "We did our job, Captain," said Weber, standing beside him. "High Command will be pleased." Reinhardt nodded slowly. Perhaps, but at what cost? Back at the Allied base, Captain Harris and Lieutenant Thompson surveyed the damage, their faces grim. The cost of the raid was painfully clear. "We'll rebuild," Harris said resolutely. "We'll be ready for the real invasion." In his quarters, Reinhardt poured himself a drink, the weight of his actions pressing heavily on him. Flashbacks of the night's chaos played in his mind, each explosion and scream echoing in his thoughts. "Is this what it's all come to?" he muttered to himself, taking a long sip. Despite the mission's success, Reinhardt felt a deep unease. The war had taken so much from him, his ideals, his peace of mind, and too many of his men. As he sat in silence, the first rays of sunlight filtered through the porthole, a stark reminder that the war was far from over. For now, he would carry on. If you like this story and want to see more, click on the icon top left. If you want to help support our channel, please hit the subscribe button on the top left.